From Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. New achievement! Why aren't you wearing pants? You entered the dungeon wearing no pants. Dude, seriously?
Welcome back to the Dungeon, Ruffians. It's time to kill this Dungeon Crawler Carl series discussion. It's me, Mallory, a level 34 karaoke queen bard with a song for every situation. I'm joined by my BFF Ariel, a level 32 barbarian Barbie, because who says you can't kick ass and be pretty?
Slaying outfits and my enemies.
Get out. Our Supreme Overlord Carla, our very own level 60 mastermind tinkerer, is here to try to level the rest of us slackers up.
Bring on the demigods.
No, I'm scared of that. We are recording from our stairwell in Jackson County, West Virginia. Zach, a level 35 super nerd engineer, and the current owner of an actual Donut the Cat, is joining us from his Seattle, Washington stairwell because he split the party. How rude.
You never split the party.
Well, look what you did anyway.
I know, I goofed up. I done goofed up.
At least you have Donut with you.
Yeah. We have a special dungeon NPC joining us today, Rachel from our Ravenswood stairwell, who is here to tell us about Mysticon, which is coming up right around the corner.
I'm just happy to be here.
Do you want to talk about Mysticon for a minute?
I can certainly do that.
Absolutely.
Mysticon is a free community event at the Jackson County Public Library's Ravenswood branch. It's on Saturday, October 5th from noon to 7 p.m. This year our theme is Whispers in the Woods, where we're going to explore paranormal and unexplained. We'll have guest speakers, unique vendors, fun contests, and creative crafts. There's something for everyone.
Dang, that sounds so good.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
did.
It was like, mine are always just rambles.
It's like professional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, was that written down?
Yes.
Okay. Like, there's some prep work done in that one.
Yeah, we just wing it, and it sounds awful.
It's like, yeah, we got this coming up soon, and that's gonna be pretty cool, guys.
And then someone throws out something else, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Mysticon is a lot of fun, though. They have speakers, and they're really interesting. There's all kind of cryptid stuff and UFO stuff, which is the stuff I love.
Yeah. I'm excited this year.
A lot of cool vendors,
That's
too.
good. We've got some old favorites coming back and also some new exciting people.
Very cool.
I bought tattoos for it because I want to have a booth, right? And
Yeah.
I figured kids will come up, and if they don't have money, I'm going to give them a little temporary tattoo.
Nice. I like that. That's super cute.
Good vendors this year. I made sure to give myself time to actually do some shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some good ones last year, too. Although I'm pretty sure I spent $20 on $2 octopi. Or
Well,
octopuses.
Yeah. One sitting at my desk.
Is the plural of
Yeah.
octopus not just octopus?
It's octopuses.
Yeah.
Sounds
We
like
did a-
moose.
No, we did a book, and it's
Oh, we already been through this.
The first paragraph is like, it is the plural is octopuses. It's not octopi because it's Greek and not Latin.
What about octopodes?
I like
was
that
not
one
in there.
personally. Octopodes, octopodes, however you want to pronounce it. I like that one
Yes.
better, personally.
Yeah.
It's
Octopodes.
fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so we were going to discuss the entire Dungeon Crawler Carl
Oh my
series
God, I'm
today.
so excited.
Yeah.
I know, me too. So if y'all haven't read those yet, it's really way past time.
Get on it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? God.
Really highly recommend listening. They are fantastically performed, but in general, they're just amazing books anyway. It is a lit RPG, and it's essentially aliens take over the planet, and
Make everything into a dungeon.
yeah. And if you are outside during this dungeon creation, you live. And if you're not, I guess
You part of the
sucks
dungeon
to
now.
be you. Yeah. And Carl is outside with his girlfriend's cat, Donut, who is a show cat. Whenever everything, just disappears in a very gross fashion and wanders their way into a stairwell, only to discover that it's basically they're signing up for real life dungeon crawl, but the stakes are like way worse
Yeah.
than anything that you could probably find in I don't know, because aliens. I just, oh man.
Yep. It's
It's-
essentially
Yeah.
like a D&D game show
Yeah.
where you can really die.
Kind of like, I mean, Hunger Games and D&D
Yeah.
all mixed in one. But instead of teams, it's just you by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you can team up.
You can
but
team up, but
You seem to get targeted that way.
yeah. It's wild. Fantastic, funny,
My
hilarious.
favorite books ever right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to
they're very
reread
good.
them. I
Yep.
just,
I'm
I'd
ready to
love
reread them.
And do you want to tell us about the book signing or book talk you went to last night,
I
Zach,
was
since
going
we're
to,
all so
yeah.
jealous?
Yeah, now that I can tell you about my close personal friend, Matt Dinniman now.
don't get to call him a close personal friend because you didn't show him donut and you
Nope.
didn't slide a bookmark to him.
This
so
is true.
I don't want
This
to
is
hear
true. I
your
did not
crap.
do
Rude.
Your
So
acquaintances at best.
I'll give you that. It's an acquaintance, but still,
Closer
one
than
day,
us.
one day maybe we'll
It
be
is
close
closer
personal friend
than
Matt
us,
Dinniman.
and I'm mad about it.
So I guess a few things. He had some news in general. So I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, but the Dungeon Crawler Carl series has been picked up by Seth MacFarlane, who does all kinds of fun things, animated and live action, to be made into a TV show. Currently, they're just waiting for it to get picked up by one of the streaming services, and once that happens, then we'll figure out more details, like whether it's going to be animated, live action, what's going on. I hope they go with animated.
Same.
It seems to be the general consensus.
But not his normal animation.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
not
think that he would.
not his
Yeah.
normal animation style.
Yeah.
So there's that. Let's see here. What else did we learn from this talk that he gave? Because it was about an hour-long interview, and then
Did he mention his next book coming out, like when it's going to be out?
it is going to be out this year. So it should be out. He was last time I checked, he was on chapter 70-ish of the book. So
She's not excited at all.
it should be out this year.
So pumped.
The other thing is, you guys mentioned the audiobook and how it's better. Apparently, this is very strange for just books in general, but over 50% of the people who read the Dungeon Crawler Carl series do so through audiobooks and not through physical media or ebooks, which is
That's
weird.
because it's just the best.
That
I mean,
is
it's
weird,
very
but
good.
If you-
so great.
If you do not like audiobooks, you should still listen to this one because
I think
it's just
it would
done.
change your mind.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, his voices are so
Perfect.
ranged and perfect. And it's just
The sarcasm comes through so well with it.
yeah.
Also,
Oh my gosh.
regarding that, there's a different version of the audiobooks, which is this
Mhm.
radio play version.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually. I don't know if I like it as much as the original, but it's worth a listen if you want to check it out. The first chapter, or I think it's just the first chapter, is up on his website, so you can go there and listen to it directly. So that's pretty cool. Another really big things. Oh, aside from this, they are trying to make a tabletop RPG for the book series at some point. There's been it's been in the works. They had one version of it already come up with, but Matt didn't like the way that they were going, so they tried to find a new person to help design it. And also, he no longer has the rights to the video game because presumably somebody bought the rights to a video game for it. So that's pretty
What?
cool too. So it's
Well,
at
so
least
somebody
it's
wants
probably been awesome.
to make
Okay.
a video game.
Oh, they better be
Yep.
good at it. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yeah, for real. I hope it's not one of these crappy ones
Oh
where
my
the
gosh. What if
adaptation
you
is just the
get to
worst.
go into the game as a normal human and then once you level up, then you get to decide, just like in the books?
That would be the way to do it. I mean,
Yeah,
would
that
be
really
great.
would be. And I mean,
I
it
hope you
still
don't
could
just
be
play
like a-
as Carl. That would be lame.
No.
Go
I
into your own
think.
thing.
You would need all the different characters, I would think.
Yeah.
Or not characters, but options and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think. I mean, you would almost have to start out as a human, but I mean, the possibilities are endless to go.
Oh, I
from
don't know.
there.
You could be a cat. You could be a
Oh,
dog.
man. Well, I mean, I
Or a
guess you
goat.
could, or you could have a pet companion that randomly turns into
Yeah.
something.
I don't know. I
I
might
don't-
want to be Perpetente.
I was going to say he's pretty cool.
Someone who has not read this book, it seems very interesting.
so
gotta read
much
it. It's
fun.
so
You're so good.
So much fun. But listen if you can, because the voices are perfect.
Yeah. Oh man. So
but
great.
I have the books. I ordered the first 2. So I couldn't get the audios because they're not selling
they're like
them.
Yeah.
Audible.
They're only on
exclusive.
Audible or through
Oh.
Sound Booth Theater, which
Yeah.
Sound Booth Theater is who made them. And I think you can also listen to their radio plays like
Yeah,
in the
I was
app.
gonna say in
I
the
don't
Sound Booth
know
one, I think,
how much
yeah.
you have to pay to get them. I don't think it's a lot. I'm not sure. I
I don't
haven't
know.
looked in a while, but yeah. Oh man, they're so good.
But I have the books. I do have the books. I got what I could.
But yeah, a video game about that would be pretty cool. And it still could be designed as like a fairly open world game because
I think you could have it almost like World of Warcraft, where there's all kinds of people playing at the same
Yeah.
time, because that would be like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh,
Online
man.
play.
That would be
Oh,
so
good
terrible.
MMO, yeah.
That would
I
be
don't do
wild.
online
if there was
games,
an
but
actual
I would
MMO
do this
version.
one. Yeah.
I feel like you should have the option of doing either or though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you can play the storyline or you can play online.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh man.
Why didn't they give us the game?
I need
We can test it for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just putting that out there, guys.
We're gonna have to
Whoever
find.
is-
Yeah, we're gonna have
In
to
the
find who
universe.
has
gonna
it.
be here
We're gonna have to like deep
listening to
dive
the
into
podcast,
this.
I'm
Who
sure.
has it, so we can find them and tell them
Yep.
that we have
For
a certain
sure,
set
for
of
sure.
skills.
Oh man. I wonder what platform it's gonna be on.
No idea.
All
I
of
don't want
them.
to have to buy a new game system, but I will.
Yeah. If it's on PC, I'll be okay.
I don't have PC.
Not yet.
No, I gotta buy a desktop.
Do you?
I mean, to play PC games.
Oh.
I mean, I could do it on a laptop. It's just not as good.
It's cheaper to upgrade your graphics card every few years than buy a new console.
Mhm.
Zach, my birthday's coming up.
Oh yeah. I'll
Yeah.
get right on that.
Desktop. You can find them cheap. I got Alex's for $500.
There you go. But yeah, so that was the talk. Got to go see him. Got a picture with him afterwards. It was fun. Got the book signed and personalized.
I love how he personalized it. I thought that was cool.
Oh, Zach, can we post your picture on our Ruffian Instagram or our library Instagram? with
Oh yeah,
the
100%. Go ahead.
author?
That'd be great.
And Donut. I'm posting Donut too, so you know.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
post on that. I'd
Yeah.
probably crop it though for those things. Just saying. I mean, I guess
'cause
I could
there's that
ask
other guy in the
Adrian
one.
if he wants
was gonna
to
say,
be in it.
You do the Ruffian one, so
Oh, that's true. I can do that. I could just crop him out.
but
and
I'll
post
do
there.
the other one. You should have heard me this morning talking about Adrian. I was like, it's not fair that little boy got to go.
Yeah, he hasn't even read the book. He started. He's on chapter 8.
He's not
Are
going
you serious? Are you serious?
No.
You could have flown me out there.
to. He's not going to survive the apocalypse anyway. He's not. I mean, you should. The guy has like what 900 pair of shoes,
Yeah,
He does, he does.
He won't survive.
Oh man,
And he-
Adrian
he
getting
was
called out on
worried-
the podcast.
Will not survive.
He's probably like, oh man.
We love you, Adrian, but it's like I'm sorry, you're just not going to make it. You're going to have to like up your game.
You're gonna be sacrificed.
He wouldn't have to. He wouldn't make it that far.
He'd probably be in his apartment with all his shoes when the dungeon is made.
Or he'd be barefoot.
Oh my. Okay. Let's get into this.
Yeah.
Into this book
The
discussion.
book. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the first one already. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Why is it so hard to say? The second one, Carl's Doomsday Scenario.
That one worried me a little bit.
That one was a little bit worrisome. This is
Yeah.
So they start
He
off on that
almost
one. That's
blew
where
up
they actually
everything.
do they choose their stuff at the end of book 3 of book 1? They do, right? Their classes and stuff. So this is when they start actually
Yes.
applying their classes
Yeah.
and whatnot. And this is on floor 3 of the dungeon. And we meet, if I remember correctly, this is where we meet Signet for the first time.
Yes.
Is that the case? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I
And
was
this is
trying
where
to
they
get
have the most disgusting ice creams I've ever heard of in my life.
Oh, God. Well,
That scarred me.
And yet you still brought it up.
because I'm traumatized.
they're full of worms.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of gross. So
Yeah.
this
Kinda.
this floor is unique in the sense that it is part of the Overcity, and that's all of the floors that are multiples of 3 take place in this Overcity to some description. So floor 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And this is the only one where the floor exists continuously on all of those different floors at the same time, and you've got a bunch of these like higher, like wealthy individuals who are doing stuff at different levels of the Overcity while the dungeon is happening. And there's like a bunch of extra stuff. Is this where we get the tiara too? I feel like this is the book we get the tiara.
I thought it was on level 4.
Is that on level 4?
3. Because it wasn't
this is
until a
level
little
3.
bit later.
I
Oh,
thought
you're
she-
on level 3?
You're on level 3 in book 2.
I mean,
I think she gets it maybe after the circus part.
oh my gosh, they're all blended together. I can't remember when she got it.
Because it's the circus part, and then it goes on to the doomsday part.
Editor Zach here. She gets the tiara in the first book, and then she loses it here in this book, and then gets another later.
Because I remember her not being like thrilled. Donut is the one that gets the tiara. It's not the
Yes.
right color, but she's
Yeah.
okay with it still.
Yeah.
No, her second tiara is that one.
The first one
The
wasn't
first one's purple, and she likes
That
it.
was why
Oh,
she
that's right,
That's why
touched
she
it.
sticks
That's
it on her
right.
head
Yeah.
That's
before
right.
reading what it does.
Yeah. Maybe it was book 3.
Yeah, I think so, because when they're running and all the stuff starts disappearing, all their magical items starts disappearing
Yeah.
and stuff, and he's
Yeah.
worried about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yep, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
that did really bad stuff to other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
R.I.P. bros.
So much luck.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oopsie.
So the other thing about this book is that, again, for those who haven't read it, there are NPCs who are continuous throughout the dungeon, and they can give you quests and things, or you get associated with a storyline. And basically, these storylines are made up by smaller companies than the one who is hosting the dungeon at the time, and they can sort of manipulate and control the NPCs and stuff like that in the dungeon so that they can get good storylines. And Carl gets involved in this Signet storyline. And Signet is this
She's
it's
like,
this demon woman. She's like, yeah.
I thought she was
a half naiad, I thought.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she's got horns and stuff like that. She's covered in tattoos, and the tattoos can come to life,
Which is cool.
which
So
is pretty
kind of
cool.
think like whenever I was picturing them, it wasn't necessarily exactly what it looked like, but like Maui from
Yeah.
they
Yes.
like moved around
yeah,
on
they
her
were,
body
they
and
were
stuff
like
like that.
sentient almost. Because she like
yeah,
she ends up getting friends that die later
yeah,
on her body. And like, I don't know, she kind of like talks to him and stuff.
yeah.
Yep. But in this on this floor, before she has like, I guess, fixed things, there's like sort of ghostly and ethereal when they come off of her, and she has to go and attack this big circus tent. Basically, that's what she does. I think it's every night, right? Basically every
Yeah.
night she goes and attacks this thing, and Carl has to help her. I think that he was supposed to help her like beat the people in the circus
kill
tent,
the ring
Yeah,
the
killed the
ringleader.
ringmaster.
kill the
yeah.
ringmaster, but that's not actually what happens, is it? He goes
No.
and
No,
he
not-
like talks to him and stuff and figures some other thing out.
He helps the
basically.
bear.
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he help
helps
the
the
bear? No.
bear. Oh man, it's been too long since I read this book. He helps the bears. I mean, the bear, the big. What was her name? Do you remember? Does anybody remember what the bear's
it was
name was?
something
No,
like-
she was just like a zombie bear on roller skates.
No,
But
her name was something, but all I can remember
It was
is
a sweet
Tina,
name.
and I know
Yeah.
that Tina's not right. Tina is
Yeah.
the dinosaur.
Tina is the dinosaur.
Yeah, so she.
and her little tutu.
This is a bear. It was a circus
Very
performing bear,
one.
and it had roller skates, and it's
Yeah.
big, and it's a zombie, and it's pretty terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, like all the circus people
Yeah.
are like
yeah.
zombie-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing that is happening in this Overcity quest thing is that he basically finds, what is that place called? So he's in one of the towns. There's a bunch of these suits of armor that are animated, and they come out and they patrol, and at night they go back into this building to recharge.
Is
Yeah.
it where the
Where the bird people are.
yeah.
Where the bird people are, which is what Mordecai
Skyfall.
actually is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skyfowl. Yeah.
Skyfowl.
Mordecai is his helper, his like manager.
His
No, it's actually
guide.
Donut's
Yeah,
manager.
Donut's
but
manager, but
Technically
he
he's
started
Donut.
out as just like their guide to level up
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
you love him too.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Yeah, but he's in this. He's in the Skyfell City. He's trying to solve some weird thing with the mayor. Some quest with the mayor. He ends up going into this area with all of these suits of armor. Finds a guy who has been
He's been brought back from the dead
been brought back from the dead
by his wife.
and being used to power something, like power a crystal thing, right?
Yeah.
He's being used to power a crystal thing. Carl ends up stopping that from happening, but as a result, the crystal's going to blow up, and and he puts it
Take
in a
out
little
like
box.
What was it, like a 20-mile radius?
Oh yeah,
Everything
Yeah.
within a
Like
20-mile radius
everybody-
is going to be dead.
it's like a nuclear warhead type thing.
Yeah. So it's basically going to be a nuke. He puts it in this stasis box while he's running away, and that's what ends up being the doomsday scenario, like Carl's doomsday thing in the box.
Yeah.
And as a result, this is like wild because they averted that crisis. Everybody who was still in the area got they were supposed to get like this mythic. Is it legendary or is it mythic loot box?
I think it was
No.
supposed to be
Celestial.
Celestial. That's
yeah.
the word. Celestial loot box, but only one person got
Opened
it
it,
before.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And he was such
Because
a
he opened it.
such a
He's a
dweeb.
butt. He's a butt. Only one of them opened it before it got appealed. So, because that's
So
the thing that can
the
happen.
dude who opened it got to keep his stuff, but everybody else couldn't.
Yep.
which
So this is when
dumb.
you really see the AI starting to cheat.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
really
it's starting
cheat,
to
but
cheat
like
a little bit, and
work
people.
loopholes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does loopholes.
and their benefit. You know,
Yeah.
for their benefit.
Yeah, and he
Can I
starts
just
getting
say
angry.
that I love the AI.
Oh, he's funny.
He cracks me up. Like, I know that he's not like a morally great character, but
He's a
I
very
mean,
entertaining
I don't-
character.
I don't blame him for being angry, though.
No,
No. So I don't think that we've mentioned the whole AI and Carl obsession.
no, we haven't.
AI is
um,
obsessed with
mhm.
Carl and his feet.
So and the reason we get to this is because Carl, whenever he goes into the dungeon, he is wearing his
His
ex-girlfriend's
girlfriend's
Crocs. And he's wearing his leather jacket and
A pair of boxers.
and that's it. Like, because he was chasing Donut out of Donut escaped from their apartment, so he ran outside, and it's what, winter
In December.
yeah, and
In Seattle, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, and so he's outside looking for Donut, and then everything like just crashes. So everything that you have on you is all you have.
So he was just not
Yeah,
prepared.
so he like wanders into the dungeon because he's like, I'm not going to survive.
Yeah,
in
he's like,
this
well, I'm going
out
to freeze
here."
to death out here.
Yeah. And so he has no shoes, and like leveling up and everything, they get loot boxes, whatever. He never got a pair of shoes, did he?
No, he gets a pedicure kit.
Yeah.
He gets toe rings.
Toe
it was
yeah, and so
intentional.
like they get like increasingly more like unhinged in
Yeah.
a very weird
And the
foot
more-
fetish way.
The
and
more
then
he
he's-
squashes things with his feet,
Yes.
the better
that was the
prizes he
yeah,
gets.
that was
As
like the
a
original
freak.
thing that got him like a
Yeah,
foot thing
he
to begin
stomped
with.
like a
He stomped
goblin
a
or
goblin.
something.
Yeah.
And the AI was like, oh yeah. And it's like,
Yeah,
when you
it's kinda
listen to it, and
creepy.
you're like, oh.
He's like, and Carl is
He
like
never gets
obviously
pants
really
either.
freaked out about it.
No, he
yeah.
doesn't get pants.
No.
He's always in his boxers.
Just running around barefoot, underwear, leather jacket.
Yep. And he's got patches on his jacket now
Yep.
because he's
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Yep. Carl is very obviously upset about like this weird foot fetish, but Donut is just like, do things for daddy and we get nice things. Like, shut up. Like,
she's
just do
all
it.
like, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so you haven't read the book, so you don't know. But Donut, she was a normal cat. She went in and she became a player instead of just a pet companion because she became
Her intelligence, wasn't it, was so
like,
high?
It went really high, and she could start talking. And stuff like
Interesting.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
So
ate
it
that
didn't
pet
happen to
biscuit, too.
all pets that
yeah,
went in.
it was from a pet
but
biscuit.
it was Donut and then Prepotente, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just those two.
No, there was the other one where the
all
transformation didn't go well. Remember, she turned into like a demon goat. I can't remember what her name is.
Bianca.
Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Bianca.
So
yeah,
do
yeah.
all pets that go in become players? They just get like different stat boosts?
No,
or is it special
they're
ones?
sometimes they're just pet
Okay.
companions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Prepotente and Bianca, they're both goats, and Miriam Dom,
Just get him in trouble.
She has
Yeah, Miriam
she
Dom.
had like
dogs.
11 other goats,
Oh, yeah.
because
you're
she
talking
had
about
like
Miriam.
a herd of goats
Yeah.
that she went into the dungeon with.
Yeah.
And she kept all the goats in her inventory because she didn't want them to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like another girl and she has 2 Rottweilers.
Yeah. And they
Well,
never became sentient.
just
They are. Yeah. They are terrifying. They are. Yeah. She's
terrifying.
I
dude,
feel
she's.
so
I
bad
really
for
think
her.
that one of those Rottweilers
Is
has
not
like
a Rottweiler?
mind control on her or something.
I don't know
really
if
think
it's-
there's
think
more
it's
going
a-
on there.
Well, don't skip ahead, but yes, I agree. There's something
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll get
so
into it.
Yeah.
what do we think about that book? Because we got 6 books to get, or 5 books to get through. What do we think about that?
I might read these. I don't want
We'll see.
spoilers.
You don't want to
Yeah,
spoil
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because we are
They're
going
so
to
much
spoil.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
are
will
going
talk
to
about
spoil.
everything. Like, we haven't really given you a whole lot of context for
This
stuff.
is just
but-
the first book.
It's
Yeah.
all so weird. I don't understand.
You will love it. It is so,
Okay.
it is so,
Sure.
yeah, it is
so
so
great.
great. Yeah.
There's a lot of like espionage, obviously, because it's like player versus everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
and
thank you so
sharing with
much.
Minicon stuff.
Thanks for having
Drive
me.
safe.
So I like this one more than the first one, I think. I think
The
that they
second one?
get progressively better for the most part. Yeah. I think I
Well,
like
they
the
get
second one a little bit
progressively
more than the first
stressful.
one. They definitely get progressively more
I
stressful.
don't know. I think the first one really hooked me, and this one is where I started to be really majorly invested because I was really worried a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I really I talked about this with oh gosh. Now I forget her married name, but Cassandra no. Not Cassandra, her sister, Candace McCown.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, what's her married name?
I don't remember.
Zach, what's Candace's married name? She's your bestie.
She was my bestie, yeah.
Yeah.
This was true back in the
Hold
day.
on, I'm looking her up.
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, I
Yeah.
was telling her about them.
Elhany?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how you
Michelini,
pronounce
maybe?
it.
I think it's Michelini, isn't it?
I don't know. I think.
I have no idea.
I've never actually heard it
Candace,
pronounced.
I don't know how
so
to
we're
you
guessing.
could, obviously since you're listening to the podcast, correct us if we're wrong. And share it
Maybe.
around with
I don't
everybody.
know. Actually, no, I don't know if she 100% listens, but like last summer I was telling her about these because it was on my reads.
Mhm.
I do a post every month, and she asked how I liked them because her husband had been reading them, and he essentially was talking about how it makes light of such heavy and things.
Yeah.
And I was like, it definitely does that, but it also is. It's really well done.
Yeah.
And with things like that, you get a broader and broader scope every time you get a new book because you get more characters, you get more backstories, and you really think that you're going to lose the original characters or even characters that you've already met, and you don't. Like, they still keep their depth, and they still, I don't know, they don't really fade away even if you don't see them as
It's
much.
literally like checking in with new friends when they do
Yes.
talk to each other again.
Yeah. And you don't see that a whole lot. I mean, the characters are just so real, even though they're absolutely not.
Yeah.
Shh, yes, they are.
I mean, they totally are. They totally are. I'm just saying, yeah. But yeah,
They're very real in my world.
they are. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Matt considers this more of a horror series instead of a comedy series, apparently.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of existential sort of horror stuff. There's like
yes,
There is,
and it
uh-huh.
gets the further you get into the series, the more you feel it, which is really, I really think that is also really cool because Carl has really kept it together this whole
Yeah.
time,
Oh my gosh.
but he has internalized so much
Oh
of it,
yeah.
and now it's really starting to come out, and you really see it. And the only other place I could like probably relate is somewhere serious, similar. It's like Harry Dresden. Like the more he goes through,
Yeah. Yeah.
the more you
I think
see
that's
how it
why-
affects him, but he doesn't try to let others see it.
I think that's why we like it so much because
Yeah.
we love Dresden so much.
Yeah.
Like it's a fantastic book series, but
Yes.
it's very like there's similar vibes there.
yeah, they're both
Similar
very
character
interesting.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
deep
Yeah.
characters who have a lot of conflict that they're struggling with. They're trying to be good guys, but it's starting to really get to them, and you're seeing like some
Yeah.
They're
some
making
stuff
tough
creep
choices
through.
that suck.
Tough choices, and then also surviving so much trauma.
Yeah.
Like
the
Yeah.
mental
oh my
trauma
gosh.
alone.
Yeah.
And
is
because you
like-
don't get a break between
Mhm.
No,
levels.
Yeah.
it just keeps going.
It's like
And
like when you go through the dungeon early, to the next floor, you just wink out
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
essentially.
frozen.
Like there's no knowledge of time passing. You
Yeah.
don't have that break.
Mhm.
Which kind of stinks,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, like, I get it. They don't really want him to like do anything in there, and it's not like they could anyway. But
They can't plan.
yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe there's a few people that could do some things.
yeah, I'm sure that they could.
Because I think
I just mean,
Repetente and like, is it the
It was the seventh, 6th or 7th,
Yeah,
I think it was the
floor.
7th floor.
because they were really mad about it.
yeah. I think that was just a fault in the planner's part there. Like that was.
But
That was so
that was
funny
her
that
bad.
he
It
was like-
100% was.
but he
because
figured
it's
it out.
rushed.
He did, yeah.
They figured it out, but also the dungeon. They keep talking about about how the dungeon this time was rushed. And
Yeah.
they
Yes.
didn't think it was supposed to happen for another, several decades or something like
I was
that.
going to say hundreds of years, I thought. Like
Yeah,
a
it might have
couple
been hundreds of years. It was at least decades. It's like a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the company that was doing it was going bankrupt.
See, it gives hints to, and especially the later books, of the rest of the universe, the civilizations, something is starting to fall apart there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the elites are have been controlling all this stuff, and they think this is all fun and it's a game, and the people that are in it are actually starting to, and the other citizens are starting to think maybe
Maybe there is a
we
problem.
maybe we should stop this. Or
Yeah.
anyway, but it's like you're starting to see the cracks in,
Yep.
I guess, the universe.
It's giving me goosebumps, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
All comes out in the end. Just think about that, America.
The world.
That doesn't sound like a threat, does it?
Mm-mm, no.
Oh, you know what's crazy?
I mean,
I'm taking you down single-handedly. With all
So-
the time I have.
So I think I heard Matt last night say that there's going to be 10 books in the series total. So we feel like 3 more books after this one coming out. Kind of crazy.
oh no.
I don't like
Did
that.
this one and 3 more? Is
This
that what
one
it
and
is?
3 more, yeah. So there'll be
Okay.
4 more books total.
Oh my gosh. How far down in this dungeon are they going to go?
Or how
That's
much
the
are they going
question.
to wreck the universe?
Yeah.
If he doesn't give me a happy epilogue at the end,
Or
like,
just a happy
I don't
ending.
know, like a couple years down the road, like Hunger Games did with Katniss being like married
Yeah.
to Peeta and whatnot. Spoiler
Just-
alert, I guess, if you haven't read that. But it's been
Just-
yours, guys.
Yeah. It doesn't even. I just want Carl to be happy.
Yeah.
And Donut.
And Donut.
Yes.
Carl's
and
not allowed to be
Donut.
happy. You kidding me?
He's going to be.
I want him and Donut to just have their own little space and I don't know, maybe a TV show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, man. Can you imagine that?
Donut would love it.
Oh, she would.
She,
would
and
be
you know
rolling
that she
his
would
eyes.
drag him in there with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. I feel like she wouldn't have to drag him too hard, though.
No.
Like,
he,
I don't
he
know,
would just
maybe
do it
after
because
the
it's
end of
Donut.
this.
he
Well,
genuinely
he loves her.
Donut.
Yeah, he
like,
does.
Yeah. Okay.
which is also
Okay.
just,
Moving
really
on.
wholesome.
Moving on.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
We're getting bogged down.
I can't help it. It's like
And
we love
random
these
stuff.
characters.
Okay, so the second book, very good. The third book has probably the best cover of all of them, I think, personally. Just because it's ridiculous. On the cover of the third book.
Is
Which
it this
is
one,
the-
the Mantar?
Yeah, with the Dungeon Anarchist cookbook. It has a mantar on it, which
Yeah, the Mantar.
Mantar.
Which is terrifying. If you, oh
I
my
don't
god.
know, look it up.
so for reference, again, so we've talked about the mantar beforehand, but basically, imagine a big buff dude, but instead of him having a neck and head on top of it, it's another torso of a man. Also with big buff arms and stuff like that. They run around on
Like his-
all fours, so it's like their
yeah,
back
his
legs and then
front-
their
Yeah.
their
Like his
Lower
front legs
arms?
are arms.
his front legs are arms, sort of like a centaur, but his front legs are arms, and it's just this big ripped dude. And he has on the cover Wolverine claws.
Yeah. And his shirt that says "Welcome to the Gun Show," and it's got 4 arrows pointing to all of his arms.
Yes, which is probably the best little detail. We love that.
The characters are so outrageous.
And he's like such a Chad.
Yeah, and so believable in
Oh,
in
God.
this area.
And even just like so, we haven't talked a whole lot about the actual like big bads that they have to defeat either, but the gym bro.
Oh my God! Yeah,
That was in the first book, wasn't it? The gym bro.
Yeah, it was. I still can't get over that one.
We
The
haven't
gym bro
hardly
was
talked
ridiculous.
about Mongo either.
bro. I know.
Oh, that's right.
Mongo's
Mongo
great.
was introduced at the end of the first book and is growing up through most of the second book.
Mhm.
Mongo
He
is
is a Velociraptor.
no, he's not a velociraptor.
He
he's a-
basically is a Velociraptor.
He's basically a
Oh, yeah.
velociraptor, but He's like a
he's-
Mongolius or something else. What's he called?
Yeah.
He's Donut's pet. He's a Mongoliensis. He's a Mongoliensis.
All right. Anyway, so this book is what, the fourth floor, right?
Fourth floor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a giant subway tunnel. You can only travel with the subways. And it's like a big old mess. It's called the Iron Tangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it legit is a tangle.
If whenever they do the TV show, whenever they get to this, I can't wait to see it visualized because my brain had so much trouble trying to process it. Like I understood once they understood, but I still could not actually visualize it.
I just imagined
And it
a
was-
plate of spaghetti.
I
except
did
for it's all
too.
subway
Yeah,
tunnels.
spaghetti tubes. Yeah, pretty
Mhm.
much. Yeah.
With one big old meatball in the center where everything goes to die.
Yeah.
This is also where we meet the demon. She's in the engine of the.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking. I said, see, I didn't see her as. I don't know. When
That's
you
what
said
she is,
Well, I
though.
know, but I didn't. I know that. I know she is, but it's like I didn't. She was such a sweetie.
She was. Man, I felt bad for her having to give birth every 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah, it sounds
then-
miserable.
The
And most of them being dead.
yeah, and using them as fuel.
Yeah.
The little coal babies. Isn't that what they called them?
Yeah,
Something like that.
messed up.
I think the thing I liked about this book the best was the fact that they really set up that network to help to try to
Yes.
work together, and the fact that Carl started using some of his weapons or his abilities in unexpected ways. The creativity on how he did
Yeah,
stuff.
I like that.
Mhm.
Like when they're in that subway and he puts up his shield.
Yeah.
And everything goes splat.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a good way to
Because the
level
shield
them up.
stays in one place.
And the
Mhm.
train just goes through it. Yeah.
Yep. Loved it.
So it just
I mean, it
basically
was-
splatted everything up against the back of every car, which was
Yeah.
pretty smart.
Ugh.
Really
So the big,
gross, but pretty
the
smart.
big new
Very
things in this
gross.
one also is like there's the top 10 list.
Oh,
yeah.
The top 10 list, which is a really big deal. The people who are on the top 10 list get a lot more sponsorships, a lot more, I guess, help from outside people, and they get interviewed a lot.
Yeah.
But they're also in a lot more danger because other people who want to be on the top 10 list will start
If you
hunting
kill
you
them, you
effectively.
get extra money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Donut
because
tickled
there's
me to
bounties.
death with this one.
Huh?
Donut tickled me to death with the top 10 list.
Mhm.
Did they start off on the top 10 list? I don't think they did they?
No, they didn't.
No.
Uh-uh.
And she
Yeah.
really wanted to be on there.
Editor Zach here again. They actually were on the top 10 list. Carl was at number 6 and Donut was on number 7.
But we also got to meet a new character. Okay, so there's two things I distinctly remember from this book. One, we got to meet a new character, which is great. The chick who can reform her body, right?
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like, was
Uh,
it Katrina? What was it? It's something.
I think it's good. Oh my gosh.
It's
no,
not
I'm remembering.
Katrina, but it's
It's
something
something
very
like that,
similar
isn't
to
it?
Let's
that.
look it up. She's a doppelganger, right? Isn't that what they called her?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
It was Cat something.
Watch, it's going to be like Amanda. or
Katya
something.
Grimm?
Katya.
Katya.
Is
That's
that her?
it.
Yeah. Because Donut was pronounced that, so I don't know. It's like,
Extra.
yeah, it was extra. It was
Katya.
Katya.
I love Donut.
I do too. I think the thing that worries me the most about this is Carl's not going to come out of this intact. That worries me.
I mean, mentally, he's definitely not
I-
going to.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? It's okay. Donut will be there for him, and he'll be there for Donut.
Yeah.
And
There'll be support for each other.
yep. Because remember, he talks about how when she lays up against him and purrs, it
Yeah.
helps him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet babies.
We also get to see in this book Prepotente
Which
doing
is-
some dope
I-
debuffing.
you know, at first I didn't like him very much, but my God, I
Every
love
time he
him now.
screamed, I died. He hates Carl.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hates him. He likes Donut, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Perpetuity is pretty cool in there. The whole thing that they did with the wedge thing that with Katya was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like
That was,
clear
man,
out the
that was
dungeon.
rough.
The fact that they
Yeah.
had, like you said, that network isn't this one also where we see the AI basically directly control somebody and start massaging
Yes.
Carl's feet?
Yes.
And he was just like getting way too into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
They possessed
he
a
had
priest
that-
effectively.
That
Yeah.
slug
Yes.
thing,
Oh my
right?
god.
Because he had those like slug pustules or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This is
There's-
also where you kind of really get to know the daughters of, what were they called? The daughters of what? The group that Katya
I
was
know.
in.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't remember.
It was a warrior
Yeah.
goddess, wasn't it? Yeah.
Some kind of Viking type stuff.
Yeah, it was the Viking chick.
Yeah. And she was a piece of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actively poisoning or like messing with Katya in order to get her to die and frame Carl.
Yeah.
Brainwashing. And then the snake lady,
Yeah, that's another one.
who used to be her
Naga.
best friend, which
Yeah.
is
I don't
They're
think she was
called-
ever her best
no,
friend.
no. She was
Uh.
not best friends with her, but Katya thought that they
Yeah.
were best friends.
Yeah. Hekla is the main lady in Brynhild's daughters.
Brynhild's daughters.
That's right.
Yeah. And
What's
I
the
think
snake lady's
is
name?
it Eva,
Eva.
was the other lady?
Eva, yeah.
Eva's or I think it's Ava, but whatever. Her.
She's the worst.
Sigurd, who is Katya's friend, but ended up being a real
Wow.
booty to her because of Hekla.
The worst.
Basically telling
I
her
don't
that she
think
has
it's so
to
much
do
because
that.
of Hekla.
I think she was
No,
just like
I
that.
think she was just like that.
Yeah.
Because she continues to be like that after what happens with Hekla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
And I
I mean,
think she was
her
like
and
that a
Katya
little
were
bit
supposed to be
beforehand.
friends beforehand.
I don't think they ever were.
No, I think Katya thought she was a friend, but
Yeah.
Okay,
Eva
well,
just
sure,
used
maybe.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
she
what it
talks-
was.
she talks trash about her since like before
Yeah.
the dungeon.
And he beats her down like mentally and emotionally and
Yeah.
We hate her.
Yeah.
And we hate her even more.
yeah.
Honestly, I thought this was the weakest book of the series, personally. There's lots of
I think
interesting
it-
stuff that
I think
happens
it was
in
one
it. but-
unnecessary part there because it set up
Yeah.
all that the other things that
Yeah, it's like it
It
really
was the
kind of
start
prepared
of
you
the
for the
rebellion.
rest of what's going on.
Yeah, it really was a path step.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily like I don't know. This was
liked
whenever
it.
for me it started getting really emotional and like I really just felt the weight of everything really starting to settle onto Carl.
Yeah.
And so like from here on out I'd really just like really the further we get in the more I feel the dread and I'm like there's no way I could do this. I mean like I'm sure I could last a fairly long time handling it, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm not sure I'd have went in.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
would've
don't
went in.
know.
Definitely.
I know
would've
you
went
I
in.
probably would have gone in just to like
I don't know that I would have survived as long.
no. Yeah.
But I would have went in.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought that would be a better
Honestly,
option
what's your
than-
alternative, you know? Stay out on the surface? Yes, you could have probably done that, but I think it
If
would.
I didn't
You don't know that
if
at
I-
the time, though, you know?
if
No,
I
I
didn't
really
die
don't know.
immediately from the idea that aliens have invaded the earth,
yeah.
I would go in. I do gotta say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it also really just depends on like what was happening whenever it happened for me. Like what am I wearing? Like
Yeah.
that would probably be a big factor for
that's
me
true, yeah.
because
I would have been but that time of the evening at night.
yeah.
I would have been like Carl. I would have been outside chasing something
Yeah.
with like my night clothes on.
Yeah.
And the fact that kids don't go into the dungeon, like I wouldn't have to worry about my kids.
Yeah.
They would
So
be
I'd
safe-ish.
But you mean
I
you,
would-
you wouldn't know that for a very long time.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we had all went into the dungeon,
hmm
the kids would have gotten essentially teleported out when we
Yeah.
went in.
Yeah.
And then I would have spent my entire time trying to get back to them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what they really should have been
Which
worried
would have been
about,
the
is
fuel.
moms.
I really would have liked to seen a little bit more of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it's mostly about Carl, so like I get it.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool to expand on that.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think
And
that
maybe
he's
they
going to
will
write
in the future ones.
additional
I don't
stuff.
know.
No, he probably
in the
won't,
world,
which
but-
is like totally fair. But it would be so much fun
But
to
there could be a
explore different
character.
things like that. Yeah.
Apparently, in the books, the hardback versions at least, there's going to be an additional little continuous story that's going through. I haven't actually looked to see what this additional story is
I
about,
was
but
going to say, in the
apparently
back of our
Prepotente
book,
is in it.
in the back of our books that we just got,
There's an extra story, a bonus
Yeah.
story or something like that. What was
Yeah.
it? It was like wasn't it something about a pineapple?
I want to
Yes.
say, yeah.
It was something about a
Yeah.
pineapple. I can't remember what it's called. But I had to definitely read those. But we're missing something very important about this book.
What?
It's where he gets the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
which is the
Literally
most
title of
important
the book.
item in the entire game.
Yeah.
It's the title of the book, yeah. The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, which is basically it's sort of like a glitched item or like a hacked in item there's only one copy of it that exists in the dungeon. It's continuous throughout different dungeons, right? And people will write in it. If it gets discovered, you lose it, and generally something bad happens to the writer. But it's probably how they're going to build up and be able to take down the dungeon in the end is using this book and trying to, figure out a bunch of stuff.
It is only offered to anarchists in the dungeon.
People with the anarchist class.
Yeah. Which is so cool. And I remember whenever he had that offered and he was going to go for the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he was like, but there's just something about that book. And I was like, oh my God, do it. Oh my God, do it.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody was so mad that he picked it. And I was like, that was obviously the best choice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, it was so cool once he started talking about it and going through everything. That was really neat. It was also that was definitely a way that you got to really then see how everything was affecting Carl.
Yep.
And how he got through all that stuff. I mean, I don't think he would have maybe made it nearly as far without it.
Yeah.
But having it definitely made him a lot more cognizant of everything that he was trying to repress.
And I know his catchphrase, according to like the shows and stuff like that. But I think his real catchphrase is, "They will not break me.
Yeah.
I will break."
You will not
Yeah.
break me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
100%. 100%. That's his real thing, but that's his private one. Internal only.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I was
is. That
gonna
is.
say,
Yeah, it's the internal one. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like Murderbot
I mean,
in
they
his
can-
name.
The other one's just hysterical.
I wouldn't be surprised if they could get to where they start to see the people's thoughts too, because they can do the
Ugh.
inner chats now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But they did get rid of that, didn't they, in the last one? Like, they did it for a while, but then it
they
was
found
something...
loopholes around it.
Well, I know they made it, like, paid content for a while, but then they... What, didn't they... Didn't
can't
they
remember.
stop them from actually doing, like, was it private chats? Like, they could look at group chats, but not actual private chats, I think. I don't really remember.
I can't remember
I
either.
don't either.
Because I remember that they started doing it, and then it got to, like, they could see everything that you were typing, and it was
Yeah.
just like, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of rude.
But plus, you can't plan because
Yeah.
the people that you're planning against are watching.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, very true. I feel like they came up with a different system temporarily, and I can't remember. I think it was notes. It was notes. That's what it was. They were
Yeah.
leaving notes in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Because they got
Yeah.
that special paper and the special ink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So they
Donut
could
was
just
not
write
abused.
notes in the bathroom. And they would go in there and discuss basically doing that with short little things.
It was, oh gosh. Yeah, whenever they started doing the chat things, that was so funny because Donut was always in all caps.
Yep.
And hearing him read that out loud.
I don't like this.
Kyle, make it stop. I didn't like it. Oh
And
my
she
God.
could write in lowercase.
Yeah,
she just chose.
refused to, especially with Carl.
Yeah.
And then
Well, some of the
they
other
get,
ones too.
Yeah. And then they get Samantha, and she teaches Samantha the same thing.
Oh my
God, Samantha is hysterical. And I thought I would hate that character, and she is so funny.
I loved her instantly. I knew.
Yeah.
She's us.
Yep. I love her.
She's hilarious. Talk
She
about
is-
a wild card.
Oh,
She
for
is
sure.
goofy, and she is just wild card is a good term for it.
Yes.
Apparently, she was just like you thought she was going to be a funny joke, and then she became a big character
That's
just
fantastic.
out of nowhere.
I love that.
See, I think he's channeling these characters. I don't think he's making them up. I think it's to the point where it's like,
They're in the universe.
think-
yeah.
And they are telling
I
their
think-
story through him.
Yeah, I think really good writers are able to do that. Like
Yeah.
they start out with something, and then it's like, oh, you know what? The more I get into this, the better.
They build their own thing. you
Yeah.
know? Like they tell their own story.
Yeah,
I would love to have heard him speak. I think that's amazing.
yeah.
It was very cool. He's a chill guy. I like him.
I was telling Ariel a while back. I think I've told all of you about it. I don't know if I've actually talked about it on the actual podcast, though. I was watching, I don't even remember what. It was some sort of video, and this guy he had a podcast, and maybe it was with a library. I don't remember. Anyway, he was interviewing Matt Dinniman, and Matt was sitting at his desk, and he had this whiteboard behind him, and it had the name of this really terrifying, like it was just a very ominous phrase. And the guy's like, I have to ask what that is behind you. And Matt started laughing and was like, well, it's a spell. And I won't go into too much detail, but, essentially he like glossed over it kind of. And then they got to talking a little bit about other things, like other spells that Donut has had. And then Carl has had, and he goes, well, you know what? Donut is going to have this spell, and that's all I'll say about it. And I was like, what? Like, Princess Donut is going to have a very ominous spell? Can't wait.
She'll use it.
Yeah. That was a really cool interview to watch. He sounds like so much fun. Okay, I think that wraps it up for this episode. We will be back with one more episode that goes through books 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. And then we will be following you that up with, let me see, Curiosities from Zach and Carla. And that will be on hypnosis. And then we're going to do my nonfiction pick, which is Somebody Feed Phil the Book by Phil Rosenthal. Then we will be doing Ariel's deep dive pick, Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin. And then we're going to do a new book chat. Whoop, whoop. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Reading Room Ruffians. It's time for us to sign off, but before we go, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you. Or hopefully murder you.